Hello, Risa. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate you. And you see, Risa, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much, Risa, for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest in yourself. And oftentimes, which I love to make reference to, the amazing mango tree. Say some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Risa, just recently, I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately, I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did. And it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes now, Risa. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing researcher that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insight, the impact your work is having, and how you are offering your solutions. These stuffs I found beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from those beautiful things Risa is doing. And not only me now, but even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Risa. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. So let's get started. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today, Reserve, for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Reserve, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information. And you see, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Risa on the show is for the sake of the audience. We live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got a lot of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Risa, that our conversation is going to be impactful and insightful. So for that reason, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Risa got here. And afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Risa, over to you.
So I live in Texas, and I have a business, have a family, and on December 23rd of 2023, we're living life. My 11-year-old was sick, and we went to the ER. And during that visit, we trusted the hospital just because it's a local hospital and that you just kind of have an inherent trust with doctors. And we we go do our thing. When he went in, didn't really think it was anything beyond just, he was flu or whatever. They said less than 2 hours, hey, it's viral, go home, don't worry about it. 2 days later, it's Christmas morning, and we wake up and he can no longer really walk at all. It's Christmas morning. He doesn't want to open his gifts. And I go to take his blood pressure because the doctor had just told us it was viral. I actually thought the machine was broken, so I was trying to put new batteries in it. And I go to look at him, and my 11-year-old is yellow. So we called our pediatrician at home. She said, take him to Cook Children's because previously we had been at Methodist Southlake. And she said, no, take him to Cook's. And we get there, and that started a 40-day journey for us. Well, I say 40 days. We were there for almost 40 days, but it's been a year and a half now. But everything from multiple surgeries to he was put on a ventilator. They didn't think he was going to make it. It was a long, hard road, and we're still kind of navigating the after effects now.
Wow. So sorry about your son, and I feel like that the fact that you're sharing your story, it's beautiful. And thank you so very much for doing that. So, but there is this part that I want to know your thought about, okay? So, what should parents do if their concerns are dismissed?
Learning lessons, right? So, one thing that we've learned is no adult focused hospital for children unless it's just absolutely dire. Um, ask to see the labs. So what happened with us is they told us everything was normal. They told us everything was fine, but we later learned that none of that was true. His vitals were very uh, off. His lab work was completely, it showed he was like in stage 3 kidney failure. And the doctor didn't even document it correctly. And so we didn't know, and it was just EKG was off, all of these things were off. But asking for to see those documents, asked to see those lab, we just trusted, and that was a almost a fatal mistake for us. And
Wow.
if you don't feel like you're getting the answer, the responses you need, or your mom gut is telling you more, go to another hospital.
Hmm. They said nothing was wrong, everything is fine, but none of those things were true. That's pretty sad. Okay, so what about this one? What records should families collect right away, at the hospital?
Well, asking them to print out the entire encounter, including lab work, EKGs, chest x-rays, asking them to print those out and give them to you right then. Hindsight is valuable. If for some reason you can't get those or that's an issue, immediately go into my chart and download them and hold on to them because you may need them later.
Beautiful. I mentioned earlier that thank you so very much for sharing this because, the fact that you're sharing it now, you're helping others to learn and, walk in that path where they wouldn't regret anything at all. So, what about this one? How can parents organize medical information effectively?
Uh, so a couple of options is, if you like us, we were a pretty healthy family. We would just, keep them in Dropbox and have them the way we needed them and have a little book with some notes for important things. But now that we are having to rebuild from long-term repercussions, and we're traveling to, we're traveling back and forth like to the Mayo Clinic and other places. We keep everything digitized, very easy to access, um, along with that book that gives us those highlighted information. Also, highly encourage, and I probably a lot of people wouldn't agree, but record the conversations. It's very valuable. So you as a parent can go back and look at it or to listen to in case you didn't miss anything, or so you didn't miss anything.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So, what steps did you take when you decided to fight back?
I'm fighting back in Texas against the medical community is not easy. We were dismissed so many times, but we started with federal violations, working through that process, her failure to treat, and just simply ignore and turn off alarms was it's criminal in my mind, but we're still working through that process. But started with the federal violations with the Center of Medicare Services, and then working through the Texas Medical Board, Texas Nursing Board, and really huge learning curve on how to approach those complaints. But there had to do a lot of pushback because they initially dismiss all complaints, I believe.
Really? So, what early signs of sepsis should parents watch out for?
Um, Fever is a telltale with low blood pressure, lack of appetite, vomiting. But one thing that we learned is that not everybody has fever. Nicholas didn't have a lot of fever, but he did have a little. Um, but watching out for that high heart rate, low blood pressure, loss of appetite, in any areas of soreness or pain should be some telltale. It's okay to ask, does this meet sepsis protocol?
So, back to fighting back, all right? What surprised you the most about the legal process?
That I think that we believe that we are protected and that the regulatory agencies will help us if there's a problem. That is absolutely not true. I feel like I've had to fight them as long as I've had to fight to get some recognition from, just even acknowledging that this is a problem. So we did come out, we made the front page of the Dallas Morning News, and from that, I got hundreds of messages of people having similar incidences, even at the same hospital. But just learning that unless you push, you're probably not going to get the result that you
Hmm,
deserve.
wow, that's so sad. So, what is the current situation now?
We have a trial date set. We're working through the court process as of right now. Um, Texas Medical Board has agreed that there was some issues. The Texas Medical Nursing Board has agreed that there are some issues, but we've been waiting probably a year on what kind of disciplinary actions that they will be having.
So, how is Nicholas doing currently?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yeah, I said, how is your son doing? Nicholas, how is he doing?
Nicholas is doing much better. We're on a path to at least have a normal life and have to deal with the long-term damages, later. But we are flying back and forth to Mayo Clinic, which is literally across the country for us on the regular basis. His heart, kidney, liver issues, joint issues, and we've recently learned of a back issue,
Sorry
all
about
from
that.
sepsis.
Got it. And I believe he would be fine. Perfectly fine. I believe so. So we have two more questions to go, okay? So what message do you want parents to hear? I mean, parents who feel powerless.
You're not powerless. You ask questions, trust your gut, and if you have to fight back, against a system that has, failed us in some way, be persistent, be relentless, keep pushing, and when it's time, seek legal help.
Beautiful, I got that. So to bring this to an end, Risa, what would you like to leave the audience with? Like a final thought, and to those folks who like to reach out to you, learn more about the situation, or even ask you questions. How can that be possible?
Yeah, sure. Just want to leave everybody with, don't give up. You're not alone. There's still great doctors and great hospitals, but we need to hold accountability. Um, to reach out to us, we've actually created a website that talks about Nicholas's story, and it has a lot of documents that we've been very transparent with, just so other people can learn from. It is methodistssouthlaketx.com, and they can go and look it up and see more details about Nicholas's story and how to push back.
Beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, Risa. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing these stuffs with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you.